Welcome, everybody, to a podcast that we do. This is our 122nd, if I upload it, podcast. Some haven't made it simply because we get a little too, I don't know. I wouldn't say racist, but
racist.
I'd say racist. You know, I'd say racial. There's a difference. Yeah. Welcome, Daryl. This is our 122nd time around the goddamn sun. Here we go.
I feel like all 122 of those.
It's been a long 24 hours for you. That's okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes
this fucking echo's gonna kill. It was approximately this time like when I boarded that Virgin Galactic ship that went to the edge of space.
Major Town to ground control. I mean, sometimes you just gotta let the sweet Chiba do what it's gonna do. You know. This is why I go ahead. Ask your questions.
It's not really questions. Found out more on. I can't do this. I can't talk and hear myself 3 seconds later. This is going to be annoying. My brain just can't function.
Just unplug your headphones and see what happens.
There.
Okay. Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you hear me?
See what happens. Hello?
Hi.
I don't even know if I hold.
Oh, I've heard that before. I'm like, hey, you paid for the 45 minutes.
Huh?
I don't know. So I found, like, I had like those glasses that block the blue, you know, because if you're staring at a computer for a long time, you know, you use those glasses and they get rid of the fucking blue thing, so you don't get so many headaches. Like sometimes I got to write an ungodly amount of shit in a day, and your eyes start to hurt. So I thought that these were the glasses, but apparently, yeah. Hi, I can hear you. This is why. Oh no, I got echo. No, I'm better. Okay, it's fine.
Cool. I can still fucking hear it. I hate this shit. And I'm fucking stone sober.
As opposed to last night when you were what?
High as a kite.
Are you allowed to be like? Are you allowed to take
What?
like, Mary Jane?
Am I allowed to take it?
Mm-hmm.
Like is it against my doctor's orders? Or?
No, like work wise and stuff like that.
No.
Oh, you can't. Okay.
No.
But you're like mentally disabled, so you can't.
I'm technically just disabled. The word mental wasn't in there.
Well,
you added that. I mean, there's days.
Potato.
That was plausible.
Potato. Yeah, I mean, some days it. So, do you have any questions about recreational use of drugs? How can
people do that?
Here's what I don't like. Now, I may have been in a situation about 8 months ago. I was at a football game. Oh, look at those things.
She can hear you now because my fucking headphones were off.
Jesus Christ. After the Titanic sank, I would have crawled on the door of that bitch and made babies. Here's what I don't like about drugs. Number one, not on them right now. Don't like that. Number two, it's kind of like a roller coaster that you get on, and when you're on it, you can't get off. Like you're strapped in. They fucking do the check on the belts, and you're on it. And whatever the ride is going to be, that's the fucking ride.
You know at the end of the roller coaster is normally coming to a stop.
Yes.
This wasn't like that.
My recommendation, if you're ever going to do the weed, as we call it, is to not eat the weed. There's a different type of reaction that happens.
Okay, and that's what I think we discussed.
Yeah, don't ever text me after you eat weed and be like, hey, should I have done that?
Like this.
Yeah.
You got on the boat, we were talking about what to do.
Sure.
Whether we were going ballyhoo, and then the casino or whatever.
Yep.
And my buddy just kind of walks up and hands this.
What's up, Phil?
I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I'm like, he's like, it's a gummy. Krista fucking snatches it out of his hand, throws her in. Whole fuck, every crowd. No.
Well, there's a synergistic reaction if you've been drinking as well. So some people, the second that they smoke weed or have any weed whatsoever, if they've been drinking a little bit, they get the spins. It's just a bad time. I don't have that. I have the boom, boom, boom. like all of a sudden I'm like, I feel everything. Everything's great. But I do have a shelf life to how much my brain is willing to compute, and then my brain's like, "Fuck it, I'm done," and then I just black out. I don't remember. Yeah. I don't. My brain's like, eh. I may have been in a place not too long ago where I had a bunch of IPAs at a football game, allegedly, and Miles is driving, and he wasn't drinking, and I'm at this bar, and somebody goes, "Hey, do you want these?" And they were like all caps of mushrooms. And I thought we were going to go to the football game. It was on a Saturday, and he was just going to drop me off at home. And I'm like, well, I can be on mushrooms at home. That's fine. I can do that. Done it before. I'll go watch Goonies. Goonies on mushrooms? Great fucking time. And he goes, hey, there's people are hanging out. I'm like, okay. Dude, we bar hopped, and I was on fucking Venus, which I don't even think is a planet anymore. I don't know.
That was Pluto, bro.
Pluto. Venus has the penis, and Clarence's parents have a real good marriage. So we keep going to these different bars, and not like weed when you eat it, because weed panic's way different. Did you have a panic attack or no?
No.
Okay, well that's good.
It got me early, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Things started feeling a little weird. I wasn't real steady on my legs. And
you kind of feel like you're on a boat even though you're off a boat?
yes.
Yeah,
I even
I
said
got
that walking around the casino, I'm like, feels like this floor is fucking.
Yeah, you're like, you got the bounce housey. You're like walking in a bounce house.
And then it kicked in a little for Krista at the bar. We were talking. She's like, does everything feel more? I'm like, exaggerated. My hands are fucking hurting. And I would love to see the fucking video footage of this.
Yeah.
The bar.
Yeah.
Both of us just fucking off to the moon.
Sure.
And then we finished our beers, walked next door, ordered a beer, and all of a sudden I got punched right in the mouth.
Yeah.
The weed got come up.
It'll get you.
Good night.
Yeah.
She went out and slept in the car. I had a babysit my buddy because he is irresponsible when he's drinking.
Was I there? God.
No.
Okay.
And everybody was high and tired.
Mm.
And then I finally came off my high. And Krista the whole way home was like, pizza. And irrelevant movie quotes. And then she just started giggling.
Well, I mean,
I got home, took two steps in the middle of the road. You fell over my feet.
how did your shoulder feel today, though?
I don't know.
Better, worse, different, indifferent? Don't know. Yeah. I do like so with weed, the panic just shows up like an in-home invasion. Like you don't know when it's like someone's just gonna kick open your door. With mushrooms, it's a little different. If you're in a place and you do mushrooms and the mushrooms hit, you're fine for the most part. But if you go from in that place to any other place, because you're in sensory overload at that point. So if you go, for example, where we were at, bar, have a couple drinks, we're there for about a half an hour, it takes about half an hour for mushrooms to hit, and then all of a sudden you start feeling the thing, right? And then it's like, well, hey, we're gonna go to this other spot. And I'm like, okay, because I'm in for the night because I'm having the best time ever. I love everyone at this point, right? I'm connected to every human being that's ever existed in the whole fucking time of Earth, right? I am fucking doing the bongos on a Tyrannosaurus Rex dick head right now, like boom, 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 and like everything's great. And then I walk outside, sensory overload. Holy shit, the world is so big. Holy shit, I'm in the middle of the solar system. Holy shit, we're spinning. We're going fucking 1 billion miles an hour. And then we go into his car. Now we're in a confined space. Sensory overload in a confined space. Then we're moving. Holy shit, are we going the speed of light? It was a lot. Then we go into a place where there's a band and a fucking stage and a bunch of people and like, I had probably 30 panic attacks that night because we went in and out. Like even trying to go to the bathroom, or what's worse on mushrooms, if you're waiting in line, you feel all this shit inside of you where you're like, I want to talk to people, I want to know everything, everything's great. I feel love for the first time. Mushrooms is fucking crazy. And then but you're still just waiting in line to fucking piss next to a bunch of alcoholics, you know? So little different. So, but I will say, if you ever have the chance to smoke weed versus eat weed, I would say smoke weed, and then you can kind of fucking tailor it down a little bit.
Nah, I took this shot in the dark because I got X amount of time before back to work.
Sure.
That'll be way gone. So.
Well, hey, you're back. You're back to earth.
I'm not sure, man. Like,
did you have any profound thoughts?
No.
I had a friend named John that had a notebook, and every time he would get really stoned, he would write down these like amazing facts that he like figured out. And one time he was eating potato chips and dip, and he was like, "Holy shit!" I'm like, "What?" He goes, "I just figured out how to fucking snowplow." And he was like moving a chip through the dip, and he was totally committed to the idea that he learned how to fucking snowplow. Which is great. You can learn some things.
I don't know about that. I learned I wasn't going to do it again. Even Chris, when we were walking out of there and we were going to the car just to drive over to the bar, and it was like, she's like, maybe we should do this. Get some of these choppies off, a little here, little there, you know?
Sure.
This morning she rolled over. She goes, remember when I said that last night? No. She's like, let's never do this again.
Well, so do you know that there's a difference between strains of weed?
Yes.
Okay.
Which one this was? I have no fucking.
So one time we had our other co-host was here, and he might have had some stuff on him, and I was like, hey, usually if we're drinking a bunch, which we were, and then if you do, I don't know what the opposite of sativa is, indica. If you do indica, you fucking die. Like, that's when you get the spins, that's when you throw up. Your body just goes into fucking shutdown mode, right?
So this must have been sativa.
Yeah, so I call sativa speed weed. Sometimes you could be drunk as fuck, take a couple hits of speed weed, and the ship is fucking steady, and you're good. Not that you should go drive a school bus, but like, you know, you're okay. In this situation, I took one hit, and it was like 1 a.m. or whatever, and I woke up at 4 a.m. in the shower, and I don't know what happened.
I was sitting in the bathtub.
Yeah.
With fucking cold water going last night. I think I was washing my feet off. No idea why I was in the club.
Sure.
So Chris this morning, she almost fell out of bed laughing. What the fuck?
It's all
I
good.
couldn't find a towel, so I had to wash my legs and my feet, or dry them with a fucking washcloth.
I was, and I don't know if I've ever, I'm pretty sure I've told this story to you and to everyone all the people in Germany that listen to us, but in 1999, no, I would say probably 2000, I was not a fan of the band Oasis. I didn't like them because they were kind of like, you could tell that they were ripping off a lot of Beatles stuff. And I'm a hardcore Beatles guy, you know? And we go to the concert, and I wanted to go see Black Crowes. So it was Black Crowes and Oasis, and they called it the Brotherly Love Tour because like they're both bands with brothers and they both hate each other. So what a great name for a thing. I'm excited. I'm going to see the Black Crowes. So we get to Darien Lake, and we take some stuff, which was called at the time Roxy, but I think now it's called Molly, which I didn't know what it was. But, you know, going on roller coasters on Molly, great time. Pop around the park a little bit. And it's like late August, but it was cold as fuck. It was like 64 degrees. It was just a really fucking uncommonly cold day. And I'm like maybe 170 pounds, right? So, and I was dressed for a summer day, you know, and you never want to dress too warm at a fucking amusement park. You want to dress as if you're going to sweat, you know, because you're going to be walking around doing all that shit, right? So, and then the clouds go like, hey, fuck you. We're going to have the biggest fucking storm of all time. So it starts to fucking rain a lot, aggressively, and cold rain because it was really cold out. So this kid that we were with had brought some weed with him, and it was too wet to smoke. So he didn't bring his weed into the fucking concert venue. So we get our tickets, whatever. At the time, they were RIP tickets. You know, now they scan everything. And we're walking through, and we're getting so soaked with rain that we go to this fucking tent, and we end up buying ponchos. And then next to the place where we're buying ponchos, there was a bunch of stickers that said security on them. So I just grabbed them all because I was fucking on Molly and drunk. So I fucking took a bunch of them and I started sticking all these security patches all over the ponchos. Now we're walking through the crowd. People are like moving out of the way because they think we're security.
Like the Red Sea.
Yeah.
You guys are Jesus.
So we're like walking up to whatever. I'm like this far away from the Black Crows. You know, it was great. And then we're walking back out through to go get some beer. And my buddy walks up to some kid that had like a fucking turkey baster full of weed, like a ton of weed. And he goes, hey man, you can't have that in here. And the kid goes, oh shit, I'm sorry. Like, just don't kick us out. He's like, I'm not going to kick you out, but like, we got to take that. So, so he takes the weed off the kid. But again, we don't have anything to smoke it with because it's shitting rain, like big Buffalo fucking like big raindrops, you know? So we're in line for the beer and we just start eating weed. And at this point, I did not know that that's not a good idea, you know? So we're eating weed, Black Crows keep playing, we get a couple beers, and then Black Crows go off, and Oasis was headlining that one. They switched every other night. And so to this day, I still think if Oasis had been on first, I still would have enjoyed them, but I wouldn't be a fanboy as I am, which I admittedly am, to a bad fault. Oh, they go off, Oasis comes on, they do the sound check thing. So you got like 20, 30 minutes before. That's when the weed starts to hit. The weed goes through your liver and all the fucking, when you smoke it, it doesn't go this way. It fucking took a hard left. And I felt like someone poured nice warm water all over me. And then Oasis comes out and I was like, I will love this fucking band till the day I fucking die. And it changed my entire life. All because I fucking ate weed. So anytime any one of my friends come up to me and go, hey, I'm thinking about making a weed butter. Or hey, I'm thinking about doing this with weed where we eat it. Don't ever fucking do that. Just don't do it. It's not worth it.
I wasn't even drunk. I had three drinks on this boat over 2 hours.
I mean, and again, like, so I saw Jerry today for 20 minutes, and I think I had 5 drinks.
Yeah.
We can drink pretty quickly. It's a marathon and a sprint.
And it was a fucking battle last night.
It's okay. So, are you still in for the desert, or are you not? Did you learn your lesson? You don't want to? Do you want to do Burning Man?
I don't want to do drugs. No more.
Can you go to Burning Man and not do drugs?
I think so.
Is that a thing? For you?
People like myself,
you're gonna be straight edge? You're gonna find the straight edge tent and just jack guys off? That's fine. Hey, whatever you and other guys do to each other is, hey, it's the 90s, dude. You can do whatever you want. I do have a little plea here. Can I give you? And I know you're not a drug speech. No, do drugs. Do all the. I don't give a shit.
Fucking bad news.
If you were my son, right? So let's say that Olivia was kind of grilling me today when we were watching Max's football practice. She goes, "So do you know when you're drunk?" I'm like, "Yeah." She goes, "Can you stop?" And I was like, I thought she was talking to me like my wife does. Like, can you stop drinking once you start? So I'm like,
hey, Liv, I love you, but where are we going with this?
I'm like, that's a very loaded question. What do you mean by that? She goes, well, no. Can you stop being drunk if you are drunk? I'm like, well, you're probably about 45 minutes to an hour away from that decision, depending on how much you've had. So like I start to explain shot math to her and, drink math, because she's 9 and she should know these things.
Yeah.
So she's like, well, why do people do such dumb stuff when they're drinking? I'm like, well, what do you mean? And I'm like, waiting for her.
I've seen your podcast, Dad.
I know. I'm waiting for her to give me an example of me like taking a dump in a bush or something, which I never have in front of her, but I have drunk. If you were if my son comes to me and says, hey, Dad, have you ever done drugs? I would say, yes, I've done some drugs before. Here's the drugs I've done. What do you think about them? Number one, please, until you're mentally ready to accept them, don't do any psychedelics. I would say 25 or older, try it. Okay? That's fine. You're in your own head at that point. But fuck, man. There are some kids, like, I think I took acid for the first time. I was probably 22 years old. I'm dating this girl. She lives in like Lakeshore. Okay? I'm on Hurdle. And so I'm probably 35, 40 minutes away from her. I take acid for the first time. All my friends are running around the house and they got their glow sticks and shit like that. And my phone rings and she's like, you got to come. And my parents got in a huge fight. You got to come get me. So at this point, I wasn't really feeling much. I felt a little excited, as acid kind of does to you. It kind of gets you amped up a little bit. But I wasn't like, nothing was melting. I've never seen anything melt in the floor. I've never seen fucking anything crazy. So, yeah. Well, I did have an experience like that, but it's a different story. That was on mushrooms. So I go out to my car, get in my car, and I start driving down Hurdle towards the Skyway. So I'm probably I'm at Hurdle in St. James-ish, so I'm probably like 25 minutes away from getting down all the way down Hurdle to where you can hit the Skyway, get down to Route 5, go to Lakeshore, pick her up, right? And I get maybe a block away, and everything's trailing. Like, I'm seeing like every car light is just like a meteor going past me. And I'm talking to her at the time. I'm like, I can't do this. So I park my car and I'm again out in the middle. I'm out
dancing in the
yeah, like, no, I like sneak my way back to the house. And the first time I ever did acid, I think I talked to her for like 10 hours straight because she didn't want to be alone because her parents were fighting. Her parents, did you ever see the movie Unfaithful with Diane Lane?
No, I don't think so.
If you ever want to jack your dick off to the point where you break it, that's the movie. That is 100% of the movie. If you ever might not trust the person you're with that you're married to, don't ever watch that, ever. It is about a wife that meets this guy and she just gets ruthlessly banged by this guy whenever she wants. And Richard Gere's in it, and he's like the sweet dad who's trying to be awesome and whatever. So young me just used to jack it to that movie. But anyways, her parents went on date night to that, and it brought up some bad fucking vibes. Like, fucking do some, like, even Movie Phone back in the day, around, like, Movie Phone was around that time. It would have been like, hey. At 7:10,
issues.
Yeah. 7:10, we have Unfaithful. If you've ever doubted your wife at any moment in your life, don't ever watch this because motherfucker, you are not Richard Gere, and she still fucks some other dude and not Richard Gere in this movie. Don't do it. Like, you needed a regular movie phone and an honest movie phone. And the movie phone just told that bitch the time. So they are having it fucking out. Like, they are, like, I could hear them screaming. And that was my first trip on acid. So I didn't really experience, like, the fucking shit that people do. I did do acid in Sculpture Park. Don't recommend that. When you're walking through a path and you see a fucking sculpture of a Brontosaurus, not a good time. Not a good time.
That's the one out East Ottawa, right?
Yeah.
Griffiths is
not Alden, but close, right?
No, not even fucking right direction.
I didn't drive. I don't care.
Just north of Ellicottville.
One thing that's really great about me is I have no idea where I am directionally at all. Now, do you know when, let's say you're at the flip side, right? And someone goes, no, if you go east, you can get X, right? So they're talking about a place you don't know of, like you don't know the name, you don't know the town, you don't know the reference, you don't know the streets. But if they go, no, you just go east. Directionally, do you know where you are?
Yep.
I do not know that.
Pretty close to being dead on.
Really? I don't, like, and a lot of people here are like, well, no, because like if you go south, it's this. Everyone's like, even today, the directions to the football field is that we're going to be in the big field to the west of the track. Can't stay to the right of the track?
What if you're coming from the opposite direction? Then it won't be right.
But still, just fucking give me a break. It's just too much.
Don't be retarded.
No, I have. Don't do drugs, folks. I'm just really bad at directions. But yeah, I would recommend to not do the drugs like that unless you're mentally ready for it.
I was not.
I have a friend that will remain nameless who sometimes I reference as some sort of bird. And he came over to my house and he said, hey, I'm going to grab some weed from you. And I had 100% sativa, like speed fucking weed, right? And like, I'd only take a couple hits of it, every now and then. But I used to buy like a big ball jar of it. A big ball jar was like $300. It was a lot, but it was good. So he takes a fair amount and he goes, I'm going to make some butter. And, I heard that if you make coffee and put the butter in the coffee, it's a really good high. And I said, hey, I don't believe in eating weed. And I told the Oasis story. I'm like, the reason I like Oasis is because of this. Don't do it. And so he's like, but you know me, I'm really good at measuring things. And I said, yes, you are good at measuring things. So about an hour later, I'm playing video games and I get a text from him and I see the like residue of butter in a glass of coffee. You can see almost like gasoline in water. You can see like the rainbow, on the coffee.
Yeah. The oil slick.
Yeah. 15 minutes after that, I get a text from this bird and he goes, I think I'm having a heart attack. And then I'm like, LOL, like, because I think he's kidding,
Yeah, it's exaggeration.
And then like 20 minutes after that, he goes, I think I need to go to the hospital. Like he was freaking the fuck out because caffeine and speed weed, not a good idea, man. Don't do it. Don't do it. So I would probably tell my kids the fucking downside of it, but I'd tell my kids the fucking upsides of it too.
My buddy was telling the story about this last night. Even it was before we took it. And we were just sitting there bullshitting, and he was saying that three of his buddies took gummies once. And they're out on a trip to four of them. He's like, I'm not going to do that. I just kept drinking. And he goes, 20 minutes later, it was fucked.
Yeah.
One guy was sweating.
Yeah.
Just blotches pouring down him. One guy was sitting in a chair, rubbing his skin because he felt like there was bugs all over him.
Sure.
And he said another buddy ripped off his shirt and just started doing push-ups.
It hits like, everybody differently.
Yeah. And that's what he said.
Yeah.
Everybody, it caught me a little too. Then it caught Krista. But
the best night I've ever had where all the drugs made sense to everyone doing drugs was I had some of the people from the Oasis concert, they came over and see, it was Black Crowes, now it's Oasis. They came over and you were never at that apartment, but I had a great apartment on Hurdle. It was a bottom floor. It was a 3-bedroom, huge 2-bathroom, big porch right on Hurdle. I mean, it was just great. Like people would just walk by and randomly come on your porch and hang out with you. It was awesome, So we all decided to do probably double the amount of mushrooms that a person should do, right? Each. And they had, and they'd done it a lot more than me. So they bring, I guess if you have orange juice, the acid and helps the mushrooms digest faster. They brought cheeseburgers. Like, so they had this whole like, almost like a ceremonial experience with the fucking thing, right? So we were all in a great mood. So we're playing this. There used to be a hockey game on Sega or PlayStation called Wayne Gretzky Hockey, which was the NBA Jam of hockey. Mm-hmm. Okay? So if you get 3 goals in a row, the goal starts on fire, just like NBA Jam. You hit 3 shots in a row, the person's on fire. And we're on mushrooms. Our eyes are bigger than our fucking heads, and we're having the best time ever. Well, I didn't have a cell phone at the time. The phone in the kitchen rings. So I run down this beautiful woodwork hallway and go into the kitchen, which is an expansive kitchen. And I answer the phone, and I have a really long cord on the phone because we had 3 people living in the fucking house. So if you wanted to talk to your girlfriend sometimes, and the cordless phone didn't have a battery, you had to drag this big ass cord fucking down 2,100 square feet and fucking go in your bedroom, right? And jack off to her, allegedly. So I'm in the kitchen talking on this fucking phone, and then I look down, and I am in a black and white checkered kitchen. So the white squares are land, and the black checkers are infinite pits of death. And my friend, Erica, goes, hey, me and my friends are around, and we don't have any place to go. I think she was like 20 at the time. Can we just come over to your house? Because I always had beer. I always had, it was just always kind of like the hangout place. Sometimes I'd get out of work, and people would already be on my porch hanging out. It's just the way it was, So I'm like, great. So I go hang up the phone, and at this point I kind of feel that the mushrooms are hitting, and I go to my friend, I'm like, hey, how long does it take mushrooms to hit? He goes, well, about 30 minutes. So we should really start feeling it in about 10 minutes. And I'm like, oh, great. My friend Erica is about 10 minutes away with like 4 of her friends. So it's me and the 2 guys tripping our tits off on mushrooms. And like this girl brings over 5 other girls, and I think me and the other 2 guys are speaking our own language. Like we were so gacked out on mushrooms, but it was never a panicky situation. It was the best time I've ever had doing drugs.
That was I don't know how to put that last night.
And that was like you went to the tip, like the very tippy top of the iceberg with that. Like,
yeah.
If you would have taken like 100, I would have probably started driving because like I know I'm gonna have to spoon you for 3 days, fucking nurse you back to life. Like when Adrian shows up in Russia with Rocky, just win. I would have had to done that.
I heard of like a 30. So I had half of it.
Yeah, and that's
maybe a little less.
You're good. So
people do that shit.
This is I'll give you a little plea here, okay? I heard recently, and I know you don't like the guy, but Dave Portnoy. I know.
What a fucking whistle, guys.
But I think I think you and him have the same personality.
You've tried to pull this bullshit before.
You do.
You don't. We don't.
So anyways, Penn Gaming started to not get the licenses that they were trying to get because of their affiliation with Barstool. And I think it was a good buy for them. Barstool is a good brand. I mean, they make good content. So here's the thing. Dave Portnoy ended up buying Barstool 100% back. So now he needs people that make content. Here's my plea. You and I can talk and do this shit all day. If you want mediocre content, we're not asking for a lot of money. We're not asking for fame.
We come cheap.
Very cheap. I'll come for cheap. I don't even just like show up and talk this. I will actually jack off on a Frisbee for pennies on the dollar. I'm just kind of sick of doing what I do for a living. You're kind of sick of doing what you do for a living. He's mentally disabled, so just hire us. It's fine. Just put us on. Like if you, so he kind of references like pirate radio type of situation, right? He's like, the pirate ship rides again, all this other shit, because they kind of are the masters of their own domain. Like they're kind of uncancelable because they have so many different subsets of what is Barstool, right? Which I do appreciate. I love entrepreneurs. I love people that create shit, even if you don't like the guy, you got to appreciate the hustle. There's some people that don't like Steve Jobs, but you fucking use an iPhone, every now and then, right? So I'm just saying, well, come on. We won't even take any money. We just want, if we get advertising, we want 100% of the advertising. And I want gas station dick pills. That's all I want. Like, that's our market. And maybe gummies. Weed gummies, mushrooms, gas station dick pills.
These are the only ones I'm sticking to.
Sour Patch Kids, sure, we'll take them too. No, it's. I think it's pretty cool. Like, he probably got his own company back for pennies on the dollar when he was paid millions of dollars for the fucking brand, which is a fucking great move,
And then what was it? Similar deal with ESPN or something? I thought I read that.
Penn made a deal with ESPN.
Yeah.
After that, yeah. Which, so if you're Dave Portnoy and you made, let's say you got $60 million out of it, right? For selling a fair percentage of Barstool to Penn. And a lot of their content was gambling related and stuff like that. And it's still going to be because, they're great at it. And then Penn has this massive deal for let's say hundreds of millions of dollars with Disney. And because they have Disney backing them, they're not going to get blocked anymore with all this fucking shit. Yeah. He probably got Barstool back for nothing, which is awesome for him. That's great.
Those guys just don't do that. There was a reason. You're going to make money out of it.
Well, a lot of those guys. So, yeah, if you want the long haul and stick with this brand, or if you're okay with not being able to get gaming licenses in certain areas and stuff like that because of your affiliation, cool. It's a long play. But the short play is partner with ESPN and immediately have access to Disney, ABC, all this other shit. You got to fucking do it. Yep. So good for him, man. He got that back for pennies on the fucking dollar, which is awesome. That's my only plea. Just go ahead and hey, Kristen. Just go ahead and
I had to deal with her last.
Just hire us. You had to deal with her?
No, she was on the boat with us.
Oh, nice. She's pretty nice to deal with.
Yeah. Everybody was feeling very well.
Yeah, when you're in a situation where everyone's on drugs, it's like you totally understand 70s acoustic music. You're like, okay, well, some might be good, some might be bad, and then Steely Dan shows up and everyone has a fucking panic attack. I don't fucking know. I do have a question to ask. I have a little, the game 20 Questions?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to show you a lady. This is our first bit for Barstool. Because I'm already assuming the sale, which is what you're supposed to do. Our first bit. I'm going to show you a lady, and you need to tell me what she was arrested for, okay? And it is the most fucked up way you can get arrested. She did not kill anybody. And then you need to tell me what the outcome of her actions were, okay? Which are really fucked up. And then I'll tell you how she even made it worse. She's even a worse person that did the crime. Sometimes if you do the crime, you rob a bank, that's the worst thing you could possibly do. But if you rob a bank, get away with it, and then you kill all your partners, now you're a murderer too, right? So if I show you this lady, I want you to tell me what you think she did. Okay? Here's the lady.
That's it.
I'll show it again. Number one, I can fix her. Because I guarantee she's really hot when she's not.
No face or neck tattoos.
No.
Mouth this close so I can't see if her teeth or feet.
You get her a fake chin. You get her a fake chin.
Okay. Oh, that's just the lighting. It looks like she was balding on the side.
No. She's
all right.
Okay. What do you think she did?
So I can't tell if it's crack.
You can ask questions. You have 20 questions.
Crack or math related.
At the time she did it, I don't know that she was on drugs at all. She was not. The arrest was not related to any drugs.
Okay. She didn't kill anybody. So then DWIs. Did it have anything to do with sodomy?
No. Did it not have anything to do with sodomy? Pretty close.
Okay.
Now, if you look at her, you're like, okay. She could work as...
bugged from have my contacts in for like 24 hours, but I don't see a lot of Apple.
You know those commercials where like someone digresses how fucked up they are? You know, like it's usually like a tobacco related thing. It's like, and then she takes out her teeth, and then she like takes a titty out and throws it against the wall. Like, this is not the case. This girl is as is. This girl is an actual woman.
Was it sexual assault?
Yes. I'm so happy.
I'm trying to figure out how to phrase this.
Okay. So yes, this person was arrested for something sexual. I will say that.
It's got to be with an animal.
No, this person was not arrested for something sexual with an animal.
Inanimate object.
At the time, the thing that she had sex with was in fact inanimate. Yes.
She had sex with a corpse.
You are correct. Okay, so let's say that you know somebody, this girl that could have been a hot barista, right, at like a low rent coffee store.
Looks like Spot Coffee or something.
Yeah. Spots Coffee because of all the heroin tracks. So let's just say this person got arrested. Yes, she had sex with a dead body. Okay.
How?
Hold on. But wait, Daryl.
There's more.
There's more. What could make it a worse situation if she had sex with a dead body?
It was her relative.
No, it was not her relative.
What's up?
Think of like the most improbable thing to happen if a girl has sex with something that's dead.
She work at a mortuary?
Yes, she did work at a mortuary.
So that's where the kid came from.
So this girl works at a morgue. She has sex with a dead body. And if you're going to write a really fucked up movie, and then what happens?
She's pregnant.
Yes, Daryl.
You got to be kidding me.
No, I'm not.
I just it.
This is great. Good job. But what makes her an even bigger piece of shit after she's pregnant after raping a dead body?
She sues.
I'm so proud of you.
Dude, I'll tell you, I'll give you this. I'll give everybody this. We haven't spoken about this.
No, we have not.
The topic Chris put up the other day. Fine. I actually thought a little bit on one of them.
Yeah.
This I had no idea it was coming.
I know. I saw this and I was so excited to show it to you.
I think I'm finally through the high.
Yeah.
And I'm not drinking.
That's great.
Right now.
You did really
That's
good.
fucking awesome.
So-
Usually suck at these games.
Missouri woman gets herself pregnant by a corpse, and she plans to sue the dead man's estate for child support. I mean, for real? Police.
What lawyer is going to take that case?
Hold on.
Wait.
Guess the state. Just guess the state.
Didn't you just say
What did I say?
Arkansas or
Nope. Guess the state.
Florida?
Nope. That's a good guess.
West Virginia.
Close.
Kentucky.
Closer. What's a really underrated redneck state?
Arkansas.
Close. It's Arkansas. Get your own. Love it. Missouri.
Oh.
You know?
Missouri woman.
Yeah, I know.
And I didn't hear it. There's echo.
So she's now being held on $250,000 bond, which I will gladly pay. I can fix her. According to a statement made by police, her name is Felicity Marmaduke. Huh?
Her parents
Did,
are fucked.
she was fucked from the beginning. Like, if you're interviewing someone and you're like, okay, yeah, so this next girl coming in, you know, usually you have a screener for like interviews, you know? Tell me about the next person. Well, her name is Felicity Marmaduke. Nah. We're gonna go ahead and pass on that one.
We lost her application.
Why would you pass on her? She's probably gonna, I don't know, fuck someone and get pregnant. We work in a morgue. Yeah. Like, the superiors probably called it fucking 20 months ago.
Just waiting for this day.
According to a statement made to police by Marmaduke, the alleged victim experienced post-mortem attention while being bathed. Okay, so she's bathing the corpse, okay, getting it ready, and apparently he gets a ghost boner, which is going to be the name of this episode. Can you write that down, ghost boner? Because I always forget what we talk about. While she was alone with the dead man, Marmaduke straddled him and proceeded to have sex with him. Much to her surprise, the alleged victim came to heavenly feeling after several minutes. Whoever is this? Who wrote this? We need to write this right. No authors listed at this point. While receiving a routine medical exam a few weeks later, Marmaduke had a positive pregnancy test. Police were immediately notified after she confessed. First of all, don't confess to that. She confessed as to how her pregnancy came about. She was arrested without incident, and her... Now, tell me, Daryl, where do you think this person resides?
Missouri.
Sorry, where do you think this person lays her head at night? In what type,
Missouri.
In what type of dwelling?
Trailer.
Correct. Right. So, you are fucking... Hey,
Kristen even says I'm Aquaman.
Is my podcast partner fucking Perry Mason? Are you Matlock right now? Police were immediately notified after she confessed about her pregnancy came about. She was arrested without incident. Dude, I can read so much with my glasses. In her trailer home, a few blocks away from where she worked. What makes the whole situation worse is that Marmaduke plans to sue the dead man's estate for child support.
You gotta be a sad lawyer to take that on.
Somebody's going to take it, because if you win,
Oh God.
you know what I mean? Like, I don't really, what do I want to say here? I don't really like or trust the American legal system. Okay? We got, like, we'll do 12 more minutes and then we'll figure out that go and we'll figure it out.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck's going on.
I don't like or really trust the American legal system. I just don't. I think that even DAs, for example, will do things just to get things going a little bit further, and then they want you to take the plea deal, and then they still get 100% conviction rate. The whole thing is fucked. Some lawyer's going to take this because somebody else is going to have an even more fucked up case, and he'll be like, he or she or they or them will be like, yeah, you ever hear about the Marmaduke fucking thing? Yeah, I got a settlement on that.
Yeah.
So
You're not going to believe this case that I won.
Here's the thing I don't know about. Like, if you're gonna sue the estate, if you die today, heaven forbid. Number one, awesome. Number two, suicide pact. Number two, see you in hell. Number three, see you in hell.
Wait.
Number three, see you in hell.
Are you on the weeds?
No, I'm on the Mexican Adderall beer, bourbon, and nicotine patches. You don't have an estate. I don't have an estate. Is that what they just call what you sue? She's suing the family?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's a weird question. Let's say that is your daughter. Okay? And you're a relatively level-headed guy. Your daughter's kind of a fuck-up, you know? And she goes to you, well, what do I tell the kid? What's this? Do you tell the kid straight up?
Your dad died.
No.
Then he got me pregnant.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what you do. Like that is the worst. That's the weirdest thing. That's the weirdest story I've heard in news so far this week.
That's one of the weirdest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah. I do have another story though. Not about this lady, because like this is pending. This case is pending. Do you know that there is a store in, where's this at? Okay. Australia. Okay. If I were to say that there's a store in Australia that got shut down, people can't go in it anymore. And it's not for anything nefarious. Good word. Why would that store get shut down? What's going on with it?
Are we playing 20 questions here?
Yeah, just give me a reason why you think an Australian store, like people can't go into an Australian store.
E. coli breakout.
No. Any other question? Any other?
AIDS epidemic.
No, they're all white in Australia.
You ain't black.
Sorry, we can't say that without our co-host here.
They ran out of foster soils.
Australia is home to a lot of very venomous creatures, correct?
Okay, so spider.
Yes. Now, let me read you this headline. And this is from Fox News,
Of course it is.
who only tells the truth, allegedly. Shout out to our friend Miles, who actually shook the hand of Donald Trump today.
Yeah, shout out.
So jealous.
I first when I looked at that picture because my eyes are non-functioning. I was like, just Photoshop stuff in it.
I know,
It
right?
kind of looks like it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was awesome.
Trump was like, "You got a great handshake."
He's got a nice round face.
Okay.
Very symmetrical.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. Let's say hypothetically that you're God, okay? Okay? Which I don't know if you are or not. If you wanted to make the funniest thing to happen when somebody gets bit by a spider, what would that be?
I saw where the Millers. That was funny.
Close. You're in the right ballpark. We're the Millers. What's the funniest thing that could happen? You get bit on the arm and then something happens to you. What's the funniest thing?
You run into a wall.
No. This place was closed because apparently there's a spider that overbred in this one store, and the type of spider, if it bites you, you get a painful and prolonged erection.
It's a black market Viagra.
I know. I'm like, it goes like, yeah, you get a very long erection. I'm like, well, how long? Like, I tap out at 6.5. Like that is as long as I get. I don't care if I'm doing hip thrusters. I don't care if I'm hanging weights from it. I got 6.5 inches of screaming pink Jesus, and that's it. Spider with erection-inducing bite shuts down supermarket. But owners insist store is safe to reopen. You get all these guys like me with like weird dick confidence just trying to get bit by spiders.
Just walking around, not hanging out. Here's spider.
Here's what's weird. It says an Austrian supermarket. Wouldn't you think Austria is Austria?
Austrian. I would
It
say
should be
so.
Australian,
Yeah.
right?
Well,
Maybe it is Austria. Hold on.
I don't think there's poisonous spiders over there. Maybe there are.
Well, the only thing poisonous in Austria is the fucking Nazis, right?
Yeah.
An Austrian supermarket reopened following a 3-day closure to clear the store. I can read phenomenally with these glasses. Clear the store due to an alleged sighting of a spider with a deadly bite that could also cause an hours-long. Wow, wouldn't you hyphenate hours-long? Hours-long erection. The penny market in Krems Yeah, that has to be Austria. Closed Tuesday after the store manager spotted a spider in a banana box. And immediately called the fire brigade.
Bananas got bigger.
Yeah, I saw this spider. It kept biting the bananas, and the really peach-looking bananas turned all black and huge.
We've had more female shoppers today than years past.
Hey, boss, what do we charge for Shaq's dick bananas? The manager described the spider as about 4 inches long.
Big fucker.
And colored black, and red. The authorities initially suspected it was a banana spider, but previous cases of spiders and bananas from South America have identified the spider specifically as a Brazilian wandering spider. It's got one of the deadliest bites in the world that can also cause hypothermia, blurred vision, and convulsions. And because your dick is huge, mostly famous, the bite also causes, in some cases, hour-long erections. Researchers have used the venom in studies to treat erectile dysfunction. New York Breaking reported. The Rue Retail Group, which owns the supermarket chain, said that the store carried out a comprehensive cleaning and disinfection following the incident, which forced it to remain closed for a few days, according to the Australian outlet. That's so weird.
The headline is great, though.
Well, it's kind of like the porn version of Spider-Man. You know, like Spider-Man is this nerdy kid that gets bit by a radioactive spider and he can climb on walls. And now you have a guy that like washes the fucking bananas and he's just got this powerful fucking erection.
He's just crying all the time.
Can you imagine if like you're in a moderately failed relationship, you don't love your wife anymore, you're washing bananas, you get bit, you're pissed off, you go home, and you just absolutely
lay the wood.
Yeah, just fucking to the point where like her hair is messed up, she can't walk the next day. Are you going back and telling people like, hey, I think I bit, but I would go back and I would start my own spider farm.
Yeah, I'd get two or three of them. Let them fuck.
Yeah, I'd start my own. So now I guess they're going to start to do research as to how to make dick. Can you imagine if like Viagra and the fucking Viagra a couple years later is like, it's not a pill anymore. You open this case and you got to put a spider on your fucking cock. Whoops.
Just do not let it climb into the hole.
Whoopsie doozy. Yeah, it's so fucked up. I don't know. What are you gonna do?
I get bit by spiders.
I know that I've been bit by one poisonous spider and it caused nothing for me other than nausea. I thought I was going to die and a lot of shits. Like I'd rather have, if I got bit in the leg like I did I got bit by a brown recluse one time.
Wasn't that when you lived on a plantation or whatever?
No, we lived in Pittsboro, North Carolina. We went to this place that was really awesome. It was like, it was an open air bar on top of storage containers. It was really cool. And you go up and you kind of walk up this like wooden bridge and you can get beer and stuff like that. But they had this like makeshift playground and stuff like that. And Olivia was like fucking maybe 2. And she went up and slid down the slide without us like getting ready to catch her. You know, when a kid's 2, you got to kind of catch them at the end of the slide. And she just barreled down and fucking fell. Like the slide ending and the slide and the ground was like fucking 2 feet. She just smashed her ass.
Skipped across.
Yeah. So after she was done crying, she's like, I want to do it again. I'm like, cool. So she went and did it again. And when I got bit, when we did the shots of that rum that you had, the 151 rum, and I said we were playing quarters with that at Harlem House.
We very well done.
We were playing quarters and you won. So I had to do like a double shot of that. And my vision changed. Like my vision actually like from this to this changed, right? That's what it was like. And that's all I felt at the time. And then the next day I was taking a shower and I think I was like brushing my teeth and I felt something bite me again there, but it didn't. I think it was just the poison finally setting in. And man, my leg was on fucking fire. But yeah, I got bit by a brown recluse.
I thought that was you were at the house where we were really drunk.
Well, you were
started
at
the
that's
fire
the
with the firecrackers.
no, that's the
I
second.
thought that was there.
No, the house. That's the house that you were at when we went to Chapel Hill,
Sure.
which I'm sure you don't remember being at. It's a great house. But yeah,
Don't I slept on the floor?
no, that's
The hardwood floor?
That's a plantation house.
Oh.
Again,
We've only lived at 84,000 houses.
I'm really nomadic, man. Like even this house, like this is my favorite house I've ever lived in, and it's great. But I still go to Realtor every day.
I know.
I sent you houses today.
I know.
The house I sent you today, I know it's not.
Cool house.
It's not in your or my price range. It's really too expensive, but it's got 40 acres with it, and it looks like a fucking castle. Yeah, I'm in.
That was cool.
I think if I ever do get another, tell me like your house goals. Like I know the next house. You said the most profound thing ever to me. When you're looking for your next house, you're like, the next house I'm in, I'm going to be taken out in a box. You've said that to me.
Yep.
Which to me is like, number one, I can't wait till you die so that I can get rid of it. But it's kind of a cool thing. Like to me, I'm always like, I don't think I'm going to die. I'm racing against death. So I'm going to buy this house. I want this house. I'm going to do more and more. You're like, no, the next one I'm going to be at is the one I'm in forever.
Yep.
Walk me through house goals. Like let's say tomorrow, let's say we get contacted by Barstool and they're like, we're going to give you a deal and it's going to give us enough to buy whatever house we want. Because obviously they're not getting this kind of content at Barstool. They have these fat guys talking about the fucking Mets. We have a friend that does that.
Yeah.
And he sucks too. Big deal. You want a fat guy that talks about the Mets? We got a better one.
Yeah, we got that one.
We got a better one. You got a guy that wants to blow Tom Brady? Yeah, we got one of him too. House goals. Walk me through it. Within your means. Obviously, I want a fucking castle with a moat.
I don't need a 5,000 square foot.
Sure.
Just don't. Something in the 2000s. Preferably four bedroom.
Acreage? 5, medium?
I'd say minimum.
Minimum 5.
Yeah. And I will pay more money to get more.
I think the one thing I'm really interested in, obviously land, so you're not like, I've lived in I wouldn't call it like a McMansion, but the last house you were at in North Carolina with me, is like we were just on top of each other. It was a huge house, but like,
Yeah.
you have no personal space, you know?
Nope.
I do like having property. I saw this thing. You know what a Murphy door is?
I couldn't explain it.
But it's like it looks like a shelf. Then you move it, and it's a door.
Yeah.
I don't
Yes.
care if it's to fucking access a fucking
Hot
urinal.
water tank.
I don't give a shit. I really want something kitschy and dumb like that. I'd like, and I could probably do it here, but like, I want something cool, you know?
Yeah, I seen them on Facebook Reels and shit. The little hidden doors.
Yeah.
Like somebody goes over and you move a book or a slide a trophy, and the door just opens a quarter inch.
Yeah.
You pull the door open. There's a man cave back. Some people have a little sitting room.
Yep.
Couple lights, sit there and read books quietly. Nobody knows you're in there.
Sure.
I mean, I'd like to have it lead to like a cool, very small speakeasy.
Yeah.
You know, where you can have five or six people.
Yeah. I saw one where it's off this guy's kitchen, and you walk into this thing and it looks like it's just a regular pantry. So it's like a doorway about 3 feet and a shelf, and he pulls this lever and the shelf slides. And then he goes in and it's like, it's got 4 recliners. It's got a fan exhaust for cigars, and it's just got bourbon. It had golden tea in it.
Yeah.
And it had like 3 TVs. It's like, what the fuck? Everyone wants a fucking panic room. Sure, I'll John Wick that motherfucker up. I'll put all the guns on one wall. But like, as intruders are in my house, we can get a couple games of Golden Tee in, and then it's time to fucking and go to work, you know? You tell the fucking Alexa or whatever it is, okay. You ever see that video where the guy goes, intruder alert?
Yeah.
And it's like all the lights dim red, and it starts playing Let the Bodies Hit the Floor? Sure, I want that all day. I just want something cool. The only thing cool I have about my house right now is a wife that doesn't like me at all, and I got a hole in the ground where frogs fuck. Made by a guy that was supposed to make me a fucking in-ground hot tub fucking 3 years ago. That I hope meets an early demise after he fixes my shit.
Which will never happen.
No, it won't happen. Well, why don't we do this? Well, we can bail out of this. We'll maybe you have a little drink so you can fucking snap out of it, and then we'll fix your echo.
Yeah, we got to figure this out.
Yeah.
Kristen sent me a text and said she can hear it on our end. So.
Oh, so on the feedback she can hear it?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay, we got to fix that. All right, cool. We'll get out of this. We'll fix our audio issues, and we'll be right back. All right. Hey, keep fucking.